Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. You know, when it comes to their animated films, Disney has given us such classical and beloved stories, thrilling adventures, fun and memorable characters, charming and zany humor, and timeless songs. And ever since my childhood in the 1990s, I loved this magical company, and for many years, I've been hoping for a chance to join them as a member of their team, their family, their cast members, or even one of their voice actors. Also, a few weeks ago, I saw a short called Once Upon a Studio on Disney Plus, where all the Disney characters from the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the Silly Symphony series, and the animated films came together for a group photo in order to celebrate the 100 years of Disney wonder. And in my opinion, this short was really wonderful, and I really loved the part where they all sing the Disney anthem, When You Wish Upon a Star, and when Mickey Mouse looks at the photo of Walt Disney, which really put me in happy tears. Plus, I like that this short was dedicated to Bernie Mattinson, the company's longest serving Disney employee, who sadly passed away back in February. Plus, I also liked that it featured not only Mickey's older brother, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, but also a character who happens to be the main lead in Disney's newest animated film. And of course, thanks to numerous requests from my subscribers and my fans, it'll be the subject of my blog today. So, released on November 22nd, 2023, the movie is Wish. And now, on for the plot of the movie. In the Kingdom of Rosas, located off the Iberian Peninsula, a 17-year-old girl named Asha senses the darkness that no one else does about the kingdom's ruler, King Magnifico, after she visits his castle to interview for a position as his apprentice. This eventually leads to her trying to make a passionate plea to the stars in a moment of need. Soon, an actual star from the sky, named Star, answers Asha's wish. After the star falls from the sky, it is revealed that the star has magical powers to grant wishes as well. Together, Asha and Star must overcome the evils rising in Rosas and fight for a better future in order to have something better than what they already have, and for all their dreams to come true for the people of Rosas. So, what do I personally think of this movie? Well, after seeing the movie in theaters, I can sum this up in 5 simple words. Best animated film of 2023. And to further explain what I mean, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, development of Wish began in 2018, but was not publicly disclosed until January 2022, when it was revealed that Jennifer Lee was writing an original film at Disney Animation. In September 2022, the project was officially announced, with the title being revealed. Chris Buck and Fawn Vera Sunthorn, who had worked with Lee on Frozen 10 years ago as co-director and story artist respectively, was confirmed as directors the same month, with Allison Moore later hired to join Lee in writing the screenplay. The film is inspired by Disney's Centennial, which ties together a major theme across most Disney films of wishes coming true. Additionally, it has been described as an origin story for the wishing star. Now, what are my thoughts on the movie's animation? Well, in my personal opinion, the animation for Wish is simply beautiful. Why? Well, you see, I like that the film combines traditional hand-drawn animation with CG animation. Plus, the way the CG looks is very similar to the Mender system used for Paperman, Feast, and Far From the Tree. Also, I like how the buildings in the Kingdom of Rosas and the environment in the film are rendered like hand-drawn animation. Speaking of Rosas, I find it pretty interesting that it's set on an island off the coast of the Iberian Peninsula, which, for those who don't know, is located in Spain. Plus, the kingdom's origin is pretty similar to that of the Kingdom of Corona from Tangled. How, you ask? Well, you see, both are small islands that did not exist as kingdoms at the start of the story's history, but ultimately were founded and built up over time prior to the start of the stories. Also, like Enchanted, Wish contains dozens of Easter eggs which reference past animated Disney films. Some of the most recognizable ones, aside from Tangled, are the ones from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Fantasia, Bambi, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Kingdom Hearts Key. Plus, the fact that the plot is based on the wishing star makes it pretty similar to the one introduced in Pinocchio, and the stars seen in subsequent films such as Peter Pan, The Rescuers, Oliver and Company, and of course, The Princess and the Frog. Also to note, the wishing star serves as Disney's most iconic symbol. And now, let's talk about the film's soundtrack. The songs in the movie were written by Julia Michaels and Benjamin Rice, while frequent Disney orchestrator Dave Metzger composed the score. For those who don't know, Julia Michaels was the co-songwriter of the Austin and Ally theme song Can't Do It Without You, and Benjamin Rice is best known for his work on the soundtrack of the 2018 musical film A Star is Born. And in my opinion, these songs have got to be some of the best new Disney songs I've ever heard since Encanto. First up is This Wish, performed by Asha, and to me, this song is really beautiful. The lyrics are very emotional and powerful, and it almost feels reminiscent to songs like A Dream is a Wish from Cinderella, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, I Wonder from Sleeping Beauty, and How Far I'll Go from Moana. Plus, I like that it gets an epic reprise near the end of the movie. Our next song is I'm a Star, which is sung by Valentino and a group of forest animals and plants. Fun fact, according to producer Juan Pablo Reyes, this song was inspired by classic songs like Be Our Guest or Under the Sea, and I couldn't agree more. Plus, I like that it's sung in a gospel style, kind of like the Muses songs from Hercules or Dig a Little Deeper from The Princess and the Frog. Also, my favorite parts of the song are the singing trees, the running stags, the singing mushrooms that are also used like drums, and the fact that no Disney heroine has ever had a bear for an animal friend before. I don't think, unless you count Nita and Kenai and Brother Bear 2, but that's another story. Anyway, the last song to talk about is Knowing What I Know Now, which is sung by Asha while rallying her friends after discovering King Magnifico's corruption. In my opinion, this song feels reminiscent to songs like Ready as I'll Ever Be from Tangled the series and I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan. And it's got to be one of the most awesome and epic songs I've ever heard, especially with the drumming rhythm. Plus, I also like the part when Queen Amaya joins in. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Our main character, Asha, is voiced by Ariana DeBois, whom was in Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, along with The Prom, Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, and she'll be in Kraven the Hunter next year. You know, I really like her. She's optimistic, witty, as well as compassionate, and she cares deeply about her family, her friends, and the people of Rosas. Plus, I think it's interesting that she senses a darkness that no one else can. Also to note, I really hope to meet Asha at Disneyland during my next visit on the 9th of this month. Next we have Valentino, Asha's pet goat, voiced by Alan Tudyk, who has been voicing Disney characters ever since Wreck-It Ralph. In my opinion, Valentino, like Animal's sidekicks before him, has got to be one of my favorite characters in this movie. Plus, I think he has some of the funniest lines ever after being given the ability to speak. Also, he kind of reminds me of Jolly from the Hunchback of Notre Dame movies. Next we come to Star, who sadly has no voice actor. Anyway, this little guy is a million-year-old ball of boundless energy who answers to Asha's plea, and in my opinion, Star is kind of like a mix of Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh, due to his childlike mannerisms and his facial expressions. Plus, not only is he based on the wishing stars from past Disney films, but his physical appearance is a repurposed version of a cherubic star from an early version of Someday My Prince Will Come from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Also, not only does Star use his magic stardust to give animals and plants the ability to speak, but he can also use it to grant wishes as well. Also, I think the scenes where Star plays with a ball of yarn is really cute. And I like the part where he gives Asha a magic wand at the end of the movie. Our next characters are Asha's grandfather, Sabino, voiced by Victor Garber, and her mother, Sakina, voiced by Natasha Rothwell. To me, Sabino is a kind and loving character who loves to play the mandolin, and I think he shares a sweet relationship with Asha, kind of like the relationship between me and my recently deceased grandmother, Joanne. And I find it pretty interesting that he's 100 years old, which is a nod to the Walt Disney Company's centennial celebration, and that he's patiently waiting for his wish to be granted. As for Sakina, well, she's a supportive mother who acknowledges and appreciates her daughter's interests, but like most mothers, she continues to worry for her only child, particularly now that Asha is starting to question their king's motives. Plus, as a seamstress, Sakina is very skilled and creative. Next we come to Dahlia, voiced by Jennifer Kumiyama, whom was crowned Miss Wheelchair California 2010, and she got to perform in the Aladdin musical spectacular at Disney California Adventure. Now that I mention it, I wonder if she might have performed with my cousin Shane's boyfriend Dominic Lopez, who played Aladdin in that awesome show at the time. Anyway, Dahlia is Asha's best friend, and she's the unofficial leader of the teens, whom are all based on the Seven Dwarfs. In my opinion, Dahlia has got to be one of my favorite characters in the movie next to Valentino and Asha, and I think she's a talented baker. Plus, I think she's kind of like a mix of Doc from Snow White, Nakoma from Pocahontas, and Charlotte from The Princess and the Frog. Plus, I think Dahlia's use of a crutch is a pretty clever reference to her voice actress. Moving on, we also have Simon, another one of Asha's 7 friends, voiced by Evan Peters, whom was in Sleepover, Kick-Ass, and he played Quicksilver in the X-Men films. This character is based on Sleepy, and like that character, he is stuck in an unending state of drowsiness. Plus, he dreams of being the greatest warrior in all the land. However, I thought it was a very bad move for Simon to rat out on Asha to the king, and not only does Simon get his wish as a reward, but he also gets brainwashed into becoming King Magnifico's lackey. Another character to talk about is Queen Amaya, voiced by Angelique Cabral. To me, Amaya is a kind and confident queen who cares greatly for her subjects, and she wants to see their wishes come true. Plus, she defends Asha in her pursuit of becoming the king's apprentice. She is also loving and devoted to her husband, but she's not afraid to share her opinions with him. However, after Magnifico becomes corrupted, Amaya becomes betrayed and scared, as he had promised to never use dark magic, and she becomes an ally to Asha and her friends while rebelling against her husband. Finally, we come to the film's main villain and the ruler of Rosas, King Magnifico, voiced by Chris Pine, best known as a young Captain Kirk from the Star Trek reboot films, along with DreamWorks' Rise of the Guardians, 2014's Into the Woods, the Wonder Woman films, 2018's A Wrinkle in Time, the first Spider-Verse film, and just recently, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Now, Magnifico is a sorcerer king with the power to grant wishes, which makes him pretty similar to Master Yen Sid. And in my opinion, as a king, I find him to be inspiring, charismatic, and benevolent to others. Also, he decides to grant the wishes that he sees as safe for his kingdom and for his subjects, mainly due to the fact that he lost his own home and family as a child, which led him to study sorcery in the first place. However, he does lose his temper at times, like when someone questions him or if he feels threatened. But after getting corrupted by dark magic, King Magnifico becomes selfish, hateful, power-hungry, and insane, and he vows to break people's wishes and secure his power by capturing Star. Also, as a villain, he's kind of like a mix of Queen Grimhilda, Maleficent, Ursula, Jafar, Scar, Dr. Facilier, Queen Shariki, and Mother Gothel. And I think his villain song, This Is the Thanks I Get, which happens to be the very first Disney villain song since Mother Knows Best, is very twisted, due to him voicing his discontent while displaying his true egomaniacal and malevolent character. And now on to my final words. Overall, Wish is such a magical movie. Not only do I think it's the best animated film of 2023, next to the Super Mario Bros. Movie, The Magician's Elephant, Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, and Nimona, but this was a great movie to celebrate Disney's centennial. I love how the animation is a mix of 2D and 3D animation. The Easter eggs throughout the film are very nostalgic. Asha is a relatable, energetic, compassionate, and a determined main character, and she seems like a worthy addition to the Disney Princess franchise, even though she is not technically royal. The supporting characters are fun, cute, and memorable, even though one was a traitor. King Magnifico makes a great addition to the Disney Rogues Gallery. The songs have got to be some of the greatest new Disney tunes that I've ever heard, and it's the kind of animated film that Walt Disney would surely be proud of. So, if you're a Disney fan, this is a movie that you definitely must watch, and be sure to stick around during the end credits. And I really hope that sooner or later, Disney can hear my plea and accept me as part of their family, their team, their cast members, and their voice actors. And so, it gives me great honor to award Wish the highest rating of 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time where we look at a magical 3D attraction filled with beloved Disney songs. Here's to 100 years of Disney magic and wonder. Mustang Power.